Hey everyone, this is Greg Davis at Azola Creative, and welcome to a micro marketing video. And what I'm going to show for you today is fairly basic, and a lot of you may already get it, but there are people that this still stumps to this day, and so I want to make sure I just cover it as a very simple tutorial. That is just reducing the file size of a PowerPoint presentation. We're often doing PowerPoint presentations where we're building in a lot of slides, we're using a lot of graphics, and that can balloon up the size of that file. Then it makes it very difficult for you to share it with someone else. Now, obviously, you can compress it, but even in compressing that file, sometimes that still doesn't do enough to be able to make it to where you can send it. And so this is just something as a simple step to be sure that you do that so that it'll be a little easier for you to be able to share those files with other people. Now I'm just going to take you over really quickly to show you what the size of this file is right now. And so when you look at it, it is 1.4 megs. And so that's a very large file considering I only have one image in here. And so there's no other slides, just one image. It's just that this is a very large file sized image because it's a very high quality version of the image. And so that's what's making that balloon up. Now, in order to shrink it down is really as simple as just going up to File and you go to Compress Pictures. And here where you'll see is there are different options as to how you can shrink it down. It starts off at this maximum size and then you can take it smaller and smaller. I take it down to email, and the reason why is because it's going to shrink the images down and compress them to where they're not eating up so much memory. And the reality is that for most people, the majority of people, you're not going to notice the difference in quality as far as what your eyes are seeing when it's on the screen. And so if you're doing something at a very large venue, a larger screen, then yeah, I would recommend keeping it at the highest definition that you can. However, in most real world and showing it on something like a laptop or your desktop, doing it at an email size is going to be fine, and it'll ultimately shrink that file down. So again, I'm just going to save that at that shrunken file. Now I'll go back over here to where the file is. You'll see that it has reduced it greatly. It went from 1.4 meg down to 230 kilobytes. So that's going to be a lot more accessible for you to be able to send it to somebody via email, and it's going to make it easier. Again, if that file gets bigger and you want to shrink it down the way we just did as far as compressing it, then you can also go and compress it again as a total file when you send it to somebody, and that will hopefully get it through the gate of anyone's email traps, because sometimes when you send larger files it actually looks a little spammy, and sometimes there are limits that companies put on what file size can come through their email system because of how much bandwidth it eats up. So again, you want to overcome that, and this is one of the easy ways to do that if you're not already familiar with it. So I hope this is helpful. If you're looking for more information, you can go over to azolacreative.com and look at the CMO dashboard. That's where we actually do a lot of training and tutorials that are more in depth around marketing challenges that people have. What we're trying to do is elevate marketers to where they're more valued in an organization. And so these are some of the kind of tips. Sometimes it's a little more complex than what I just showed you today, but I still thought it was valuable for you to look at. So again, go over to azolacreative.com and check out the CMO dashboard. Also ask you to subscribe to this channel as well as subscribe to our newsletter. There's information on how to subscribe for the newsletter and the detail of the video, but you can also hit subscribe and check out more videos as they come. Thank you very much.